Hello everyone! Boat ramps are back with a vengeance, where dry shoes turn into distant memories, and quick launch becomes a 3-hour rescue mission. From trailers staging solo escapes to trucks learning they can't swim, today's compilation serves up slips, spins, and spectacularly bad timing. Car takes a scenic route straight into the water while a dozen people stand around and one guy actually does the work. Driver stuck inside, door won't budge, and somehow opening a submerged car door is harder than expected. One hero pulling, everyone else just observing the chaos unfold in real time.
Goodness, guys. Oh my god.
Forgot the drain plug at the boat ramp. Classic rookie move. Water's pouring in, bilge pumps working overtime, and the boat's sinking faster than their pride. They got it fixed after this disaster, took it fishing, and guess what? It sank again. Turns out the transom cutout let in too much water and the bilge couldn't keep up. Reliable Marine tried their best, but some boats are just cursed from launch day. One forgotten plug, 2 sinkings, and a whole lot of regret.
It is.
Oh my god, the skin is stuck.
It's sunk. They sunk it at the boat ramp. Oh my goodness.
I saw.
Wow, dude. What?
At some ramps, drivers ease into the water. And then there's this guy who committed like he was parking at the bottom. The vehicle rolls down past the safe zone, past the tires, and straight into full submersion, sitting there like it belongs on an underwater auction listing. You can almost picture the insurance paperwork writing itself as the car slowly becomes one with the lake. One wrong calculation, one slippery ramp, and now the resale value comes with a lightly drowned description. Brand new boat, still in the wrapper, and already upside down on the highway. That's one expensive road rash. Trying to rescue a stranded speedboat in Cedar Lake sounded like a solid plan, right up until it turned into a double vehicle sinking event. First, the Jeep backs in a little too far, then another vehicle follows, like it's joining the mission instead of stopping it. Before long, both rides are taking on water while the boat just sits there, watching the chaos unfold. A simple recovery turned into a full-blown ramp disaster, proof that sometimes helping out only doubles the problem. Trailers wedged under the dock, trucks stuck, and suddenly everyone's a marine engineer with theories. Deflate the tires, use the boat as a lift, tie a rope, and pull sideways. Nobody agrees, but everyone's got a solution. One guy dives under, still wearing his hat, the trailer's not budging, and the dock's laughing at all of them. They backed in way too deep, the wheels dropped off the ramp edge, and now it's a full-blown engineering problem with 0 engineers present. Should have stopped 10 feet earlier, but hindsight's always 20/20 when you're underwater troubleshooting. Boat ramp launches are usually reserved for boats, but this Mustang clearly didn't get the memo. Somehow, it slid its way down the ramp and ended up nose-deep in the water, looking more like a submarine than a sports car. And in the middle of the chaos, the windshield wipers are still going. Like that's gonna solve anything. When your Chevy decides it's had enough of the boat life and goes for a solo swim, some say it was left in neutral, others blame the algae-covered ramp. Either way, that truck's now getting the world's most expensive car wash. Wheels sliding, truck gliding, and somewhere an insurance agent just hit claim denied. They say Chevys are like a rock. Guess they meant the kind that sinks. Someone's already listing it online. Lightly used, minor flood damage, comes with free rice bag. When your boat decides to take off without you, and suddenly you're the star of your own survival documentary. This guy's boat drifted away, and instead of just swimming like a normal human, he decided to balance on a cooler and frog kick his way across like it's Navy SEAL boot camp. The cooler held, the boat waited, and his dignity? Already at the bottom of the lake. When you show up to the boat ramp with a two-wheel drive truck and zero shame. This guy's spinning tires on wet concrete, trailer's empty, and somehow he's still stuck like he's towing a yacht. No boat, no traction, no clue. Someone tried the classic deflate the tires trick. Another suggested actually loading a boat first. But at this point, the only thing getting launched is excuses. Only in Florida can a simple jet ski launch turn into a full truck baptism. This driver lined up on the MacArthur Causeway ramp, backed down, and just kept going like the mission was to launch the truck too. The jet ski made it to the water just fine. The pickup, however, followed a little too enthusiastically, sinking deeper into the salt water with every second. And if there's one thing worse than sinking at the ramp, it's doing it in salt water. That's not a mistake. That's a mechanical death sentence. One small miscalculation, and now both the ride and the pride are completely underwater. It happens that fast. 1 second you're backing down, the next your truck's taking a swim. The ramp looks harmless until it's not. Maybe a little too much gas, maybe not enough traction. Either way, that family truck just became a family submarine. At least the boat floated. The boat's half on, half off, and all wrong. But hey, guess that's what many hands make light work really means. They lifted that thing in seconds. When you own a boat but have zero clue how to dock it, motors trimmed all wrong, boats zigzagging like it's dodgeball practice, and the dock's getting closer by the second. Every move's a guess, every correction makes it worse, and the whole marina's watching this slow-motion disaster unfold. Just because you can afford the payment doesn't mean you know what you're doing. Trim the motor, find the throttle, take a boating class, or sell the thing before the dock gets destroyed and your insurance drops you. Some people shouldn't captain a kayak, let alone a 25-footer with an outboard. Alcohol and boat ramps. Name a worse combo. This captain showed up with more beer than brain cells, arguing with everyone while the boat fought for its life. 4 tries later and the trailer still wasn't lined up. Shouts of "trim it down" filled the air, but he had a 2x4 and confidence instead. The only thing floating properly that day was his cooler. Just filming trucks at the boat ramp until someone shut the engine off and forgot the parking brake. The truck rolled straight into the water, 26 feet down, with Bucky the dog still in the back. They got the pup out safe. But the truck? Insurance claimed it, wheels got sold, and all that's left is a lesson about parking brakes and gravity. When you forget to strap the boat, gravity does the rest. One Chevy, one trailer, and one very expensive oops. The boat didn't make it home, but the story definitely did. Bad day at the boat launch. The car went in deeper than the boat it was towing. A slip on the ramp, no rope in sight, and all anyone could do was stand and watch bubbles rise. At least the boat floated, but the car's now part of the lake.
Oh no. Well,
hurry.
SUV takes the full plunge at the boat ramp. Windows down, pride gone, and Geeko's definitely raising that rate back up. The boat's fine, the truck's toast, and somewhere an insurance agent just marked this claim. Are you kidding me? Lincoln Navigator floors it in reverse straight into the deep end. Because why brake when you can swim? Tow truck shows up and hooks it to the door like that's totally normal protocol. The Navigator's waterlogged, the door's toast, and somewhere an insurance adjuster just threw their laptop out the window. Some launches are smooth, this one's a full contact sport. Miami struggles hit different when the ramp turns into a mini water park for your car. One slope too many, a little misjudgment, and suddenly your Ford's taking a swim while the boat patiently waits. A simple launch turns into a test of patience, skill, and a little luck. Because in Miami, even the ramps have attitude. There's backing down a boat ramp. And then there's backing down until your truck becomes part of the lake. This driver went a little too far. And by a little, we mean far enough to get stuck inside while the whole truck started sinking around him. Water creeping in, horn blaring, panic rising. It went from boat launch to full submarine mode real quick. A simple unload turned into a rescue mission, proving once again that at the ramp, it only takes one wrong move to turn your tow rig into reef decoration. Some folks bring their trucks to the lake, others fully commit and send the whole thing in. This massive pickup rolled a little too far down the ramp and ended up taking an unplanned dive straight into Gun Barrel City Lake. No trailer, no boat, just truck, water, and regret. Before long, it's sitting nose deep like it's trying to cool off after a long day's work. Turns out, off-roading doesn't usually include underwater parking. One wrong move at the ramp, and suddenly your daily driver becomes part of the lake's ecosystem. Detailed, soaked, and definitely not starting anytime soon. When you forget to put the truck in park, the boat ramp reminds you real quick. This guy watched his rig jackknife into a perfect 90-degree disaster. When you're too cheap for dump fees, you just load the boat into the garbage truck. 5 guys, 0 chainsaws, and 1 confused sanitation worker watching a whole boat get shoved into the compactor. The trailer survived, the boat didn't. Never too old to go fishing, even if it means rolling down the boat ramp in a mobility scooter towing a tinny. One man, one mission. Elderly driver thought he was in drive. Turns out he was in reverse, and the whole rig backed straight into the C-24 canal. Car, trailer, boat, all underwater at Oak Hammock Park. No injuries, just one very expensive mix-up and an insurance claim that's raising some serious eyebrows. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and click one of the videos on screen for more chaos. See you at the next one. Goodbye.